Hey y'all, Bald Duel here. This is the OG Blunt Smoker review. He recorded a video and posted it for, I guess, me and all y'all to watch. You'll see it linked in the description, including a link to his channel. And maybe even a link to Gyoza's channel, because I might as well. We have it right here. This will be OG Blunt Smoker. Now, I believe he does super launch. So, small little thing. I don't support super launching, but if you're going to super launch, you'd better super launch well. And so I'll try to provide as much critique as I can for that. The whole video, though, will be muted because I'm fairly certain it contains copyrighted music, and I'm not fucking with that. We'll try to be somewhat nicer than I usually am. I don't want to scare people off from doing this. Beater's editing a video right now, and I'm just calling on him anytime I want to. Just because I'm really nice like that. I'm really cool like that. Anyway, we'll get right to it. Hope y'all enjoy. Oh, also,
He's holding me hostage. Send help.
small thing. Y'all will notice that I'm still going to go frame by frame a lot more here, actually. I haven't actually given OG Blunt Smoker specifications for how I would like him, or Gyoza and I prefer it. That's alright, he's just uploading TABG videos. Don't listen to me. But he speeds up part of the gameplay. But just because he speeds it up doesn't mean I'm not going to criticize the same looting or the same taking too long in X, Y, or Z location. You'll also see he has fairly high quality footage. It actually looks like a game, unlike my footage. So, let's get right to it. So we start the game with the super launch. We're going area very quickly. Again, too high. Too high. Now, again, you shouldn't super launch, but if you're going area, aim right here. You'll get there instantly. Actually, instantly. Aiming any higher, you are wasting your time. And so we'll see here that OG is having to continually fly all the way down. If I was super launching, I'd have killed him by now, because he's just not getting there in time. So he landed on barracks, middle one. He's taking a while to loot. Rare jump, very good. Common recycling, very good. We're currently using VSS. Oh, he sped up the footage. So sadly for this portion, this is one of those sped up portions. I wish it wasn't sped up. But we can see here what guns he grabs. We can see what he's doing. I think he's being a little too thorough about looting every single thing. Let's be real. You don't have to loot every single deposit. This is a 30-player lobby. Get out there and kill people. You don't need to loot every single building or every single loot drop in main. UMP VSS. UMP isn't my favorite. Here's the thing. And this will come in importance later. These are two very aim-heavy guns. I keep talking about it. I had a duel with Computery. Thompson's, I beat the shit out of him. Whenever we were using UMPs, I don't think I killed him once. That man has insanely good aim. These guns, both of them, require amazing aim to use, especially the UMP. This one kicks up a shit ton. Very accurate, both of them, but this is... you would better hit your shots to make the UMP worth it. UMP is definitely a little more close range, though, than the VSS, which is nice, because it means that there's not horrible overlap. But I wish you'd grab a rifle. Something a little more, like, fast-firing, inaccurate, for your SMG and an actual rifle. But this is close enough to that. Why are we still looting? I don't mean to be disrespectful, but you have everything you need. You have 3 blessings, you have 2 good enough guns, or two guns that you enjoy. The only thing that you don't have is a sawed-off shotgun or some utility here. Doesn't really matter, because you have the speed, you have the jump, you don't need anything else here. You have a relax, you have everything you need. You were at the launch pad, get the hell out of there. There's nothing here. You know, there can be stuff, but you don't need to spend all game looting all of area. You don't need to I remember this. Okay. For reference, B and I watched this yesterday, I think, or the day before. I'm going to keep it real with you. I'll throw up a map right here. You can see it. Everything that's nearby area is Longwall and Industry. And also Point of Impact, Western, and Pyramid. Typically, the 2 places you're going to go are Longwall or Industry. And that's every game. Because that's where the people are. Here's the thing. You'll see what he does here. I don't agree with it. It's unnecessary. He super launches to factory. Why? Listen, on a route like this, where we had it cross right over, I think down the center of the map, they're going to be here. They're going to be here. Factory? You're finding respawns, maybe? You'll probably find, like, a few people over here at least. Factory, like, the only good thing is that you have a jump and there's a launch pad there. This isn't, like, what I would call optimal. Not that you should always have to be optimal every single game, but you should aim to find people, I'll say that. Aim to have fights, especially the better and better you get, the more you want to start fighting. You see someone flying in below him, no need to chase him, honestly, because he has nothing. We land up here, we loot below the launch pad, I assume. Now, this is the safest place in Factory to actually come to. It's just not that good when you're halfway into the game. There's loot up here, I'll say that, but you'll loot it on the way out, essentially. You'll loot it on the way out. And so you don't have to be as safe, especially on a jump like this. Just get out of here. And you don't need to loot the ammo. What, did you just drop your shotgun ammo? It's only 10. Oh, it's because you dropped it earlier. Keep it in case you get a good gun or a sawed-off. I would just say that. Obviously, you don't need a sawed-off. You don't really need it, but it's good habit to keep it. Out of everything to dump in your inventory, that you don't need to dump that. Here, you overreact. I get part of this is likely just clip farming, but you don't need to. This guy has nothing. He looks like he has nothing, and he looks like he's played this game for maybe 5 hours. You don't need to hit him with the whole cage fire grenade. But you do. He dies. He has no choice but to die. Lip beat's not awful. Not really good with your guns, though, so we don't grab it. That's understandable. Red dot, I would say, is good for your VSS. You don't need to... Okay. Again, we are having an overreaction. And so I understand if you didn't listen to it, and I don't want to pretend you did. You don't have to. In short, I made a video talking about it. You don't need to start every fight with a grenade. It hurts you to do it as well. Because you don't get good at fighting fights without starting with a grenade. So what will you do when you have nothing? We'll see that more later. You need to get better at fighting without this kind of unfair start where you always start the fight with someone on the ground. You can just, straight up, based off the way this guy's moving, based off the way he's dressed, I see a common health and a Mossberg. He's not scary, and because you have a jump and a speed, you're able to sit all the way back there and just VSS him from pretty far away. He'll die. You don't need to hit him with the whole implosion in case you run into a squad later that actually needs that implosion to be used. And so it's an overreaction. As well, as you saw there, here's the real problem. You do get very close to him. That's acceptable. Of course you do. But now when we're here, he's probably no longer that on the ground on his screen. And it doesn't happen every time, but sometimes they will just flick around and shoot you. And at this range with a Mossberg, you'll die. You'll die instantly to the Mossberg. Stand back. Stand back and shoot him, because you don't need to barrel stuff him. It's not worth the danger. Just sit back and shoot him. But now that you've gotten your 2 kills here, I don't assume anyone else is here. I can't hear the audio, of course, so I don't know. I would leave. You don't need to speed this up. You don't need to... What? No. Okay, thank God. Get there quicker. There's no need to waste time walking around, looking around. There's likely no one here. And if there was, they'd likely not kill each other. You'd be able to kill them later. You need to get to a higher pop monument fairly quickly. You also don't need to mark the map. I understand if it's habit, and I really do. But in general, you can see tall work. Behind you right now to the right is tall work. A little behind that's industry. In between the two is containers. And to the right of that, you'll find the H. I think. The H is like over here-ish. You can see it, yeah. This isn't... To the few monuments that you might ever go to from Factory, you'll know them. There's no need to mark the map, and we'll see more of this later. Again, you just keep the map marker there for like so long, you don't need to. And as well, I'll see this later and I'll bring it up then. You can double right click in the same place to remove your map marker. You don't need to throw it way off. I had to learn that like 800 hours in. You can get rid of it fully. We land tall work, we do the right thing, we fall down very quickly. Why? Because we're just scanning for people. But you've gone, I think that was a launch pad you took? Launch pad now. It looks like there's no one here. Why do I say that? It's entirely unlooted. How do we know it's unlooted? There's literally no ammo ever taken anywhere. First priority then, get the fuck out. There's no one here. You might as well. Turns out there is, though. I don't know why there is someone here who didn't loot the main spire. But there was. I have no clue. There he is. I don't get it. Now, did you need to start that fight with an implosion? Probably not. You have a rare jump. You always get the literal jump on the guy. And again, implosion was close enough to hitting you that was scary. And now we're pushing a Jarl Axe. You don't need to implosion your feet. You have a speed, you have a jump, put away your gun, run, and shoot him later. You don't need to implosion your feet is what I'm saying. This is again an overreaction. And again, an overreaction that you aren't able to capitalize on. So get better at aiming at people who are actually moving by not grenading people to start off with. Again, you don't need to continually do that. You don't need to spam every grenade. You've used 4 this fight. For this guy. I'm going to keep it real with you. Some guy walking around with a Jarl Axe and his dick in his hands, he's not... I'm not scared of him. You shouldn't be either. You've wasted 4 grenades that are fairly good. But he does finally... Oh, it's Sloppy Ball. Oh. I forgot about it. Now, I wouldn't type GG to people. I've learned my lesson from trying to spam things to racist motherfuckers. You're asking to get shot in the head. We'll find out here. Earlier, Sloppy Ball had died to... I don't remember who. It turns out he was team killed. It happens. And so Sloppy Ball had just landed in, is what we're essentially learning now. That said, you didn't need to grenade him 4 times. He was poor. He had nothing. He had no way to fight you. I'm sad you're not taking the Glockinator of the UMP. For the purposes of having a small ammo gun, you don't need to dynamite his body either. In tall work, it's really easy to puppy guard kills, especially with a Glockinator. Glockinator's so good at that close range, and anything past close range, you have a VSS for. Just keeping it real. You don't need to dynamite his body. No one's showing up. And if they were, you can just shoot them. You are likely going to be able to hedge your bets most games that you're the best player in the lobby. It's not a hard bar to clear. Just the more you play so cautiously, rather, you're essentially wasting your time. And you're making it harder to reach that always the best player in the lobby sort of situation. But you've looted, you have your ammo, you're looking all good. Wow, you sped this up so fucking much. Why did you land factory? You already looted this. If I go back and look at the one frame that I had an opportunity to, fly over here and look for someone to kill. They're probably here. If you fly over these 2 places, you'll find someone. You don't need to go all the way to factory. Again, you just looted factory. Anyone who is here is too poor to fight each other, too poor for you to care about. Maybe at World War II town, but do you even, like... what, like... I'm looking at our routing. There's no one here. We can see that very quickly. There's no one here. Yet you stay. And again, I'm having to go frame by frame because of how much it's sped up, but this is a really long time we spend looting this. Are you looking for every grenade in the lobby? Because you don't need it to win. Just shoot people. Why are you going to Snow Castle? There's like no one ever here. Now, is there people here? Yes. Want to know something about people who land Snow Castle? It's the same as people who land Sand Castle. They'll stay there all game looting the entire thing, especially with Snow Castle. They'll stay here the entire game. I had to watch with Bee Eater a few days ago. A duo spending 10 minutes looting Circle Town. Same thing. Anyone who lands here will spend the whole game looting Snow Castle. They'll never leave. They will literally never leave. And typically the people who land here are not that good anyways. There are people who have to respawn and come back here. Those people are a little higher. But I'm just going to take the guess that they're likely not good enough to justify coming here so quickly. World War II Town could have had people. H could have had people. Circle Town could have had people. City even might have had people. This... Who would they have met other than you? Go kill the rest of the lobby. Leave these guys for last. And again, we can see how this guy's moving. The way he's dressed, the way he's moving, I'm not getting vibes that this guy's very good at the game. Look at him. Do you see this? In case you really need it, he has a fire rate barrel and something. Now, pardon me for being a little stereotypical, but when someone has an outfit like this, I don't have the best estimates of how good they are. Hit your shots. Turns out this is a trio. Okay, slightly more reasonable to come here. That's good. Why are you focusing? No, this person makes sense to focus. You don't need to grenade your feet. Just because you saw Grincal do it doesn't mean you have to do it too. Why are you focusing this guy? Listen, there's one person shooting you right now. This guy has 2 rapiers. I mean, out of everything to be scared of, 2 rapiers when you have a common speed and a rare jump, he'll literally never touch you. There's no way he ever gets a hit on you. And he's still running the wrong way. Turn around and shoot the teammate. That guy's actually shooting at you. But you get him. Shield grenade. An overreaction. You're not being pushed. Again, the people who you're fighting don't look scary enough for you to assume that they're aggressive. The more and more people move, the more smoothly you can see them move. And the more shots you take, the more shots that you get hit by, the easier it is to assume the person you're fighting against is good at the game. When the person is hitting you 0 times, their teammate is running 2 rapiers, they're likely not good, they're likely not aggressive, and they're likely not going to push your shield grenade, and they likely don't even know that you threw one. And so, here, go be aggressive, go push them, go kill them. You don't need to stand in here and try to look for a little, tiny little gap like this is Rainbow Six Siege. Shoot them, kill them. Look at this guy. And this is also, I tend to tell people very often, red dot for the VSS. Why? The VSS is not a sniper. It's not a good sniper at all. And to try to use its magnification, it tends to hurt you. At this range, this is hip fire. And again, give you an idea how good the people you're fighting are. This guy right here. Do you see what he's using? Because I do. I see exactly what he's using. And you wouldn't know this in the moment while you're shooting him. I don't want to pretend you would. It's a Scar with a fire rate barrel. First of all, fire rate barrel is not good for the Scar. It reduces your damage. It kind of turns the Scar into an AK with less damage. Not great. He's also Glockinatoring right into your shield grenade. So right then, we can just assume this guy isn't scary. What about the guy off to the left? We see 3 blessings. We wouldn't know what they are, but we see 3 blessings. And in the moment, run to the right. You have a jump. There are trees all around you. Use that as cover, not the shield grenade. You just run around and hip fire them. And so, when you plant yourself in a shield grenade like this, why is it such a problem? Well, you're not taking any damage. You are wasting time. Not much. What if that guy who's now off screen, you can't see him because you're currently ADS with the whole scope of a VSS. What if he throws a single grenade at you? Do you see it? Do you know that he throws a grenade? What if there's a tryhard right behind you? Like me, hearing a fight going on. What do? I push it. I push it instantly. And so if I see you with your back turned to me, shooting at some guy from inside a shield grenade, you know what I do? I get inside the shield grenade. If someone has any speed at all, they push you. If anyone has one grenade, they throw it at you. If staying still like this, shield grenades have their place. Here, there are trees all around you. Again, use them as cover, not the shield. They won't be able to hit you anyways. Look at where he's aiming. He's not hitting you. But we win this fight. Again, this is why I'd say take the Glockinator. These guns, they require a lot of aim, and we can see what shots you're hitting, and you hit 1 out of 20 shots. And here you hit like 2 out of 25. Why is the Glockinator so good? At this range, Glockinator means you die instantly. You are just dead. There's nothing you can do. But when you use such aim-focused guns, you need to have amazing tracking, amazing aim, and amazing attention to who you need to be shooting, because they have small mags. Very small mags. The Glockinator has a small mag if you consider how fast it fires it out, but you reload it so quickly, and it's so versatile. Why not have taken the Glockinator? Why not have grabbed a rifle? Something with a larger mag that allows you to make more mistakes. I was talking to B about it when we were watching it together. What's the best gun you could have grabbed? And I'm not implying that you saw one. It's a PPSH. Why? Well, PPSH doesn't do an insane amount of damage. It's somewhat inaccurate. But when your aim is not quite there yet, or your tracking is not quite there yet, that inaccuracy means that you're hitting more shots. For instance, when I put on a legendary weapon mastery to my MG42, I hit less shots than if I had put a rare weapon mastery on and a compensator. Why would that be? It's because it's too fucking accurate for me. My aim is not that good, and I need to have some assurance that my gun is not shooting exactly where my brain's telling it to shoot. It's shooting somewhere nearby it, because I'm not always hitting those shots. And so PPSH, what's the massive upside? Well, it has a really high fire rate, kind of low damage, but it's an SMG, so low is relative. It's inaccurate. 71 shots in the mag is the difference maker on that one. 71. I tell B a lot. What is the difference between a PPSH and a Browning? Or Browning and any other weapon? You do not know terror until someone doesn't reload. Until you're fighting a Browning and they don't have to reload. It is insane. And so here, I mean, you can see it. You were from 100 HP, and this guy is, by all accounts, not good at the game. And by all accounts, really not good at the game, because he put a fire rate barrel on his Glockinator. That's a pretty bad combination. But you'll see here, what does a Glockinator do? Even with these modifications that make it harder to hit, make it do less damage when it does hit, what's it look like? Well, you go from 100 HP, and in this quickly, 34. That's insane. That is insane. And so, a lot of this damage could have been alleviated by standing in the trees. A lot of it would have been alleviated by making sure that guy dies quickly. You don't need a healing grenade here. Now, can you? Probably. But, like, all you need to do is just sit in this tree and, use one med kit. You also have a relax, I believe. You do still have a relax. You can use that. While you're here and dodging, press the Z and then unpress it very quickly. Or press Z and then press shift again to start running. Doing that will proc your relax for 2 ticks. With your common recycle, or with your common relax, that's like 10 HP each time you do that. Which is, it doesn't sound like a lot. Over the course of a fight, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. It also makes you harder to hit. But you kill him, all good. You should be taking the Glockinator here. You don't need to speed it up. And also, you do kill him. But you don't need to loot this thoroughly. If you're looting so thoroughly, and when I say thoroughly, that's not a good thing, that you need to speed up the gameplay, let me turn off my camera. Let me tell you the one thing you want here. It's the ammo, and then you walk away. Let me tell you the one thing you want here. It's the ammo. It's the same body. You walk away. What's the one thing you want here? The ammo, and you walk away. What's the one thing you want here? The ammo, and you walk away. Oh, also the hunt. The hunt is pretty good. Do you take it? No. How many kills do you have? Let's see. I'm looking at 6. That would be better than your common speed right now. You don't need to sit here and loot every single dime off their body. If you're emptying their pockets to take out little pennies, you're not doing it right. Anyway, he finds his way to an epic blessing here, and then the epic crate. Epic health, pretty good. Better than your relax. Epic speed, epic vampire. Replace these 2 blessings. Just get rid of them. They don't need to be there. Why do I say that? Well, on any given game, your aim might go one way or the other. What's that mean? That means that your aim might not be as good as it was yesterday. It might not even be as good as it will be the next game. So, on a game-to-game basis, you need to evaluate how many shots am I hitting. If it's a lot more than you typically do, or if it's a lot just in general, take the vampire. Over your common relax, it's way better. Even if you hit a few shots, like 10%, 5% of your mag, vampire's going to do a lot. And if you're just not hitting much that day, or you're using guns that are hard to really do much with, take an epic health. Also better than your common relax. That's 60 health. And it's speed, and it's jump. It's worth a lot. You get slightly larger. Slightly. So we come into factory, and spoilers, there's someone who snipes at you up here. How do I know that? It's because I watched this already. So, first priority, well, we see a guy up in there. We're gonna go kill him first. Do you not see him? Oh, he's up here. It's probably because my audio isn't on. But you find him. Again, this is an overreaction. I'm watching this guy take every jump bit by bit. You know what this looks like to me? We're gonna run it back. This looks like, and you can see, he doesn't press shift once. He's not running. He hasn't jumped, except for every single mandatory jump. You know what this looks like to me? His first time climbing factory. 5 hours max. You don't need to hit him with the full cage combo. Shoot him. He dies instantly if you shoot him. He has a Mossberg that he doesn't have out. He doesn't know that you're here. He hasn't registered the fact that he probably won't register for another 3 seconds once he starts shooting him that he's being shot. Just kill him. And if you are going to do the cage combo, what's this snowstorm? Oh, there was someone down there. I wish you'd have seen that. there was still actually someone down there. It turns out I was correct. But what's the problem with the snowstorm? Typically, this goes fairly well. But you kind of want to throw a snowstorm, I think, near the end of the cage. Because by the time that cage lets up, the snowstorm's going to almost be gone, if not already gone. Not great. What's the bigger problem here? He's currently on the bottom of the cage. The second that snowstorm lets up, he's falling down. Okay. Against a better player, he'd have been at the bottom of the cage. I guess he never thought to move. Couldn't tell you why. Grenade here. Makes sense. They look scary. I would too. Pay attention. Pay attention. Do not ever tunnel vision in this game. Your peripheral needs to be on point. And so, you might not see it now. But by now, you should see it. There's a guy right there. Right here, there's a guy moving. When you do this little thing right here where you fall down onto him, where's that guy looking? Where is he looking? He's looking at you. Listen, I've played this game too long I know too well. One Mossberg shot, one blunderbuss shot, one of this guy's craziest sprays that he never hits ever again in his entire playtime of this game is all it takes for you to die. And so you need to keep an acute understanding of where is any movement happening on my screen. If you see anything move, anything at all, if you see a single pixel move, it's a person. And so we can see it here. Again, you're not hitting many shots. I wouldn't have taken the UMP. You don't need a grenade. In fact, I'd honestly say maybe you want to take the MP5K over the UMP because it reloads so quickly and the mag size is essentially infinite. This is a shooting range thing. Go to the shooting range, jump around, and shoot at the still targets. Do that for like 5 minutes before playing like each day. That's not to say before every game, that'd be really annoying. But if you have friends that you like to play with, before they get on, start going to the shooting range. 5 minutes if you go to an auto team, go to the shooting range and find out where your aim is. Because right now you're, like consistently, you're not hitting him. And all it would take for him to kill you right now would be to push inside the shield grenade. That's all. And so you're reloading right in front of him. You're doing a lot of damage, sure. Now he's inside your shield grenade. What are you gonna do? Well, now he's using your shield grenade. And a lot of this wouldn't be a problem if you had a higher fire rate, very high DPS gun that allows for you to make mistakes. The UMP and the VSS do not allow that very well. The VSS makes it easy to not make mistakes, but you have about 20 mistakes you can make before you have to sit there for a second each time. And so you got stuck inside your wall grenade. Happens. You're not going to really be able to get it out through these bars. It turns out you do. The worst place you can be is inside a shield or inside of a wall grenade. I think out of any place in the game, inside a wall grenade is probably the worst place to be. Missile launcher going off overhead. He got caged by that guy over there. Straight up, this guy's shooting you with a missile launcher. One of his guns do not exist. So, oh, he has a minigun. Yeah, don't push him. In fact, he's shooting that minigun at you right now. If you ever hear a minigun being shot, push them, sure, but don't get up in their face like you're about to do here. This is a really good way to die. At this range, you can die like within like half a second. And so, this guy is shooting you. It's good to target him. You're relaxing. It's all good. I think you should have healed a little bit longer up there. You don't need to healing grenade here. Just relax. Use your relax. Again, all you need to do, prone for a second, get right back up. Prone for a second, get right back up. And there's a delay to it, but prone for a second, get right back up. Don't ADS with the VSS at this range. It's not actually good for that. Just hip fire at this range. And so right now, especially as this next fight goes on, you're gonna want to find a better gun. Why did you healing grenade? You didn't take any damage. Oh, you're being buried now. Good place to relax. You could be pushed in a second, but you have no choice. I would heal up more. You are one body shot from a Barrett away from dying. Get up to the tree. Actually, not bad. Now, prone on the side of this tree and start healing up more. Don't do this where you go to the next tree. This tree has even less cover than the other one. Why do you want the grenades? You don't need the grenades. Just shoot them. You're at full health. That's all good. Shoot at them now. This, with VSS, even with how much the bullets fall, this is good range for a VSS. You can hit them very easily here. Especially with your laser sight, it'll be fairly easy. You can see what grenades he has. It's a single bounty. It's really not great. And this is cool to loot like this. A very safe way to loot. If there wasn't a guy with a Barrett staring at you, you were asking to be shot. If you're going to be doing inventory management, don't do it where a Barrett can see you. He can't stare at you anymore, but that whole walk where you're, and I'm going to say it, you're walking with your inventory open. I know about 3 people offhand who would instantly shoot you in the head if they saw that. And he's staring at you. He's right here. You see that? Let's see what this whole does it move thing look like. Well, the first check is once you play this game enough times, you'll understand that, okay, first of all, he does move. Second, if you were to stand back from your monitor and look at this, For a lot of newer players, it'd be hard to tell. But for someone who has a lot of hours, it'll get easier and easier to see. There is something that doesn't belong. And it is a set of pixels here that are a different color, do not look like they're a tree or a rock or anything like that. It looks like a person. And so, especially in game, this is going to be a lot clearer than you might see on this video. But very clearly, that's a person right there. And remember what I said about the map marker? It's currently in your way. This is going to be really in your way for this fight. Right-click twice on the map. He's right there. He's staring at you. He's still staring at you. Grenade him. Lob a grenade. Up high. A bouncy is alright. Not a great bouncy. But you weren't going to be able to hit it at that range anyway. You've tagged him a few times. Pretty good. Turns out these guys weren't affiliated. That's alright. I'm going to keep it real with you. This guy is closer. And it makes sense for you to shoot him once he starts trying to dash at you. But right now, there's one person with a gun out, and there's one person with a katana out. And I'm going to give you a spoiler. You still have a rare jump. He'll never fucking hit you. Not once will he hit you. There's a single time he does something unexpected. I'll point it out when it comes. But he'll never hit you. And this guy, by comparison, has what looks like an epic hunt. You wouldn't know this in the moment, but you'd see 3 blessings. But in case you're wondering, epic hunt, rare weapon mastery, legendary vampire. This guy is terrifying. This guy has a katana. You're still focusing Mr. Katana Man. Like, he's not scary. I wouldn't worry about him. Why are you throwing a wall grenade? The wall grenade isn't going to help you here. Stun grenade might, but again, the more you rely on grenades to win you fights, the more you're going to be reliant on grenades to win you fights. It's like a weird thing to say, but if you were to drink a cup of coffee every day to help you focus, that's all well and good. But if one day or 1 week in a row you no longer have coffee, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have massive headaches. You're gonna panic because you're no longer able to focus. Same thing here. You have grenades. If you start every fight with a grenade, what do you do when your 3 grenades are not good for fighting? You're gonna panic. You're gonna do this. And so you're currently pushing a minigun. Not the best. Get a higher DPS gun. Get one that allows you to miss more. I'm not implying you should be hitting every shot, but I am implying that if you're going to miss like 95% of shots, that's not as bad as it sounds. That's regular. It's better than average, as funny as it sounds. If you're going to be missing that many shots, don't grab a gun that requires great aim. And so only now did the katana actually hit you. You're going to go right back up. Launch padding here, kind of iffy, but like you don't have much of a choice unless you want to die. So you land a safe place. Pretty good. I think the first place you want to go is right on top of this roof, prone right here, and heal up to full. You shouldn't be pushing a minigun with 70 health. And you might want to grab any of these guns here. Actually, never mind, but I guess what I want to say is that this fight's going on so long, and I really want to harp on it, because you're used to a fight happening with a grenade to start it. There was no grenade that would help you here. And so this is the one time Mr. Katana Man does something unexpected. Right here. No? Not right here? There it is. He desync dashed. Your game didn't tell you that he had it out. His game didn't tell the server that he had it out, but he dashed with a katana right there. And so you can put a little note on the screen that your aim's terrible. Don't use the VSS. You know, and if you... A good thing here would have had be to had like an epic health. Anything. This is not UMP range. This is still VSS range. And we can see, if I was to go left or go back here, you'll see most of your shots are all going off to the left. Your tracking isn't where it needs to be. You know how I say that inaccuracy might be a good thing for weapons? It means that whenever you're not using an accuracy barrel UMP, which is insanely accurate, by the way, if you were using a regular PPSH, 25% of these shots hit them. Can't tell you where, but they hit them. because your aim isn't exactly on point, but the PPSH will make up for it because it's also not on point. And so we finally find him. Good. He gets down. You can finally see what blessing this guy has. Not much. He'll probably stand still and pick up his teammate. He didn't. That's crazy. And that's a free... He picks up his teammate's minigun. That's a rare one. Part of the reason why I like the minigun. Do you see how much damage that did, by the way? It did, what was that, 61? 61 damage. And so it's a good game, but a lot of the problems stem from the fact that your aim isn't good enough to use these weapons. And going back to the root of that, your aim isn't that good because you're relying on grenades. Because you're starting these fights, and if you stand still and shoot at a dummy in the shooting range, or you jump around and you shoot at a dummy in the shooting range, it might hone your aim, but it's not going to improve it. And in the same way, when you implosion someone onto the ground, they essentially become a dummy. Shooting them, if you get a 2,000 kills by implosioning people onto the ground, good for you, but you're not going to be improving that aim at the same rate as someone who had to deal with these people moving around. And this is why I say things like, don't use a crosshair, because a crosshair isn't accurate to where your actual gun is pointing. So when you use a crosshair, your aim will artificially get clamped to it like this little border right here. And while the rest of you is getting good at dodging, your crosshair is getting less and less accurate. Don't use grenades so much, because as the rest of you gets good at throwing grenades, moving, dodging, the rest of you won't be as good at aiming. Don't super launch, because as you super launch more and more, you'll be more reliant on it. And by becoming reliant on super launching, you'll have to super launch more and more to get better games. Don't ADS, because this game doesn't work like others. Hip fire, and by hip firing and hip firing alone will your ADS actually get better. Sounds weird? Trust me. Be aggressive as well. The more and more aggressive you are, the easier the game gets, the safer you are. And so, this is why I say things like, don't go from area to factory, because that's the opposite of being aggressive. Take it up a notch. If you die, that's alright. You respawn, you come right back. You'll play safer the next time, or maybe you'll play even more aggressive. But be aggressive, because all it takes is just another press of the play button. But the more and more you're being aggressive, the better you'll get at being aggressive. And aggressiveness translates to every other ability in this game very well. Anyway, a good gameplay, good shit. Fairly nice. I would like to see you upload more of this sort of thing. It's alright if not, you really don't have to. I hope I wasn't too rude or a bit of an asshole here. Hope you have a nice day, hope all that. B-Heater, you have any closing remarks?
I do have some closing remarks.
What would they be?
If you can walk just fine, why are you using crutches? Why?
That was sick as fuck. That was
Or,
sick as fuck.
alternatively, if you can't walk and you're using crutches to walk, can we at least try to walk? Or at least start with crawling? Can we get to point A from point B without the crutches? Can we start somewhere, please? Thank you.
Hope you have a nice time. I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully it'll be another video somewhat soon. We'll see. I'll get to editing this fairly quickly. Hope y'all have a good one. Dual rudder helicopter here. I'm just the guy. Bye-bye.